Good evening and welcome back to Mystic Matters. Guess what? We are the Greater Mystic Chamber of Commerce, and I know you are wondering who's sitting next to me, but today I am so happy to have Amanda Arling on, president of the Whalers Inn and chair of the Mystic Outdoor Art Festival. And welcome, Amanda.
Thank you so much. I'm so happy to be here today.
And we're pinch hitting for Kristin Hartnett. What is that woman doing? Because I tell you what, she always sets us up for something.
She's on vacation, I'm sure of it.
She better
somewhere warm.
She
on a
better
beach.
be somewhere it's warm and you know, but you know what? We still can find her. I'm going to tell you something. I've got my connection right to her. But welcome, Amanda.
Thank you.
So this is your third.
Yes.
Let's see, chairing the Outdoor Art Festival?
Yes, exactly. Third year here. Happy to be back.
All right.
Mystic Outdoor Art Festival is something that is near and dear to my heart. And for those of you just chiming in, the Mystic Outdoor Art Festival in its 62nd year.
Yes,
correct?
62nd. I knew I was going to have a hard time saying that.
62nd year is this coming August. This year it's August 10th and 11th in downtown Mystic.
Great.
Yeah.
And I just want to say, just talk a little bit about, I want to just talk a little bit about the property that Amanda manages. And it's on I call it the Cornerstone. And where are you located?
We are at 20 East Main Street on the corner of Cottrell and Main Street overlooking the bridge.
Fantastic. So one of the things, Amanda, before we get into our guest is the need for volunteers. Am I correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, we are still looking for volunteers for the event. This is one of Downtown Mystic's largest events, and we couldn't do it without the help of our amazing volunteers. If you are interested in attending and volunteering this year, you can visit mysticchamber.org to learn more.
Okay. And so one of the nice things about volunteering for the art festivals, you get a free MOAF, as we call it, t-shirt. Okay, I'm just going to tell you, and I saw the logo for this year. It really is great. We have a lot of artists and also residents and also customers that collect these shirts every year, and I want to tell you this is one of the better ones. I say that every year, don't I? Well, I have them all. So why shouldn't I say that? But the one this year is fantastic. So.
It's great. One of my favorite actually parts about the show is seeing all of the visitors and the local residents that come back year after year, and they'll oftentimes wear their shirts from 20 or 30 years ago, and it's always pretty neat to see.
Right. So I'm going to let you introduce the artists that we have with us as guests today, but how many artists and crafters are you expecting this year?
We're expecting about 235 artists and vendors this year, lining the streets of downtown.
Wow.
Yep.
Wow. And just a real quick thank you. You've got sponsors?
Yes. Our sponsors for this year's Mystic Outdoor Art Festival is Foxwoods Resort Casino, The Day, and the Whalers Inn.
Fantastic. And also just a shout out to both sides of the river. We have our Chief Lieutenant L.J. Fasaro and his officers down that help us on the Groton side, and our Chief Darren Stewart and the officers that help us out on the Stonington side. Both the Groton Town Police and the Stonington Police are really, really great friends. They keep our streets safe, and so we just want to shout out to them as well. So who do we have on?
We are so excited to have Maureen O'Grady joining us today.
Maureen!
Hello.
Welcome, welcome.
Thank you very much. I'm very happy to be here.
Well, welcome. And you are a local Connecticut artist, correct,
Yes,
Maureen?
that's correct. I'm from Lyme.
Okay.
And that's where I started art, so.
But where you started art.
Okay,
So Maureen, you just didn't wake up one day and say, I want to be an artist. How long have you been doing this?
I've been doing this since the beginning of December.
Wow.
Yeah.
What inspired you to
it was
pick up a
kind of
paintbrush?
serendipitous.
Okay.
I was at a client's house, and she had this painting over her fireplace that was beautiful. I just loved it, and it was mostly about the colors in it that I loved. And I thought, geez, I would really love to have one like that. And so I have another friend whose husband is an artist, and I said, could you paint this for me? And he could, but it was going to be quite pricey. And I also wanted a very big one. I wanted a 4x5 canvas of the picture. So I thought, well, I have this old canvas downstairs. I'm just going to paint it myself. So I painted it myself, and it came out really good. Although there are mistakes in it that I see now as I've progressed over the months. that could be fixed, but I'm not fixing it because it was the first one that I did. So I'm going to leave it.
That is incredible.
Okay, a minute. Okay. All right. Okay, Maureen, when you say you just started painting like in December, you mean like in December, like last year in December?
2018. Yes.
And this is, we're in July. They're like, we're
7 months ago?
Right.
Frank, you've got some photos of some of her pieces. Can you bring that up? That is what you started. I mean,
Yeah, that was my second one.
Are gorgeous. Tell us a little bit about this painting.
Well, I paint only in acrylic, and I use different techniques. This was palette knife. Most of the paintings I do now are totally palette knife. I've done some with brush, but I'm just more comfortable using the knife.
And how big is this image?
That is 11 by 7. 11 by 7.
Okay, and we have another one, Frank?
Yeah, and this one, this is actually my favorite one. And that's all with a palette knife and then with brush along the edges of it to give it that wash look.
And thank you, Frank. It's absolutely gorgeous. So you never took lessons?
No.
Did you ever have any artistic inclination prior to this, like growing up as a kid?
Well, my mother
as a young adult?
was an artist, and both my
Thank God
brothers.
it's in the genes someplace. As you can see, I'm having a little bit of an issue with this because this is really pure talent.
Well, thanks. Thank you. I mean, I'm having such fun with it, and in all my free time, that's all I do. I just go down there, and there's no. You have to be inspired, though, which is interesting. I've gone like 4 or 5 days.
And
where,
a passion.
Yeah, I think you have to really love doing it. But 4 or 5 days will go by where nothing hits me, and then just all of a sudden, I get an idea. And the idea, because I like doing abstracts, is usually about the colors. Because what I like in art are color combinations and balance and how that all fits on a canvas. I mean, I have many canvases in the basement that I will be painting over because it just didn't come out well.
Does it pain you to lose something that you've already created? Are you okay with
No,
that?
because it's bad.
Oh, well.
I don't like it.
But how do you know it's bad? It's because how you feel about it.
Right.
Okay.
In my eyes. Like, I have some that friends really like, and I've given some away that I don't really like them.
Okay.
But they liked them, so.
Right. So prior to 2018, December, Maureen, what did you do? I mean, you woke up and said, I'm going to be an artist, and a very good one,
Well,
to be
thank you.
juried into this prestigious show. But what did you do prior to that? I want to know.
Well, I'm a realtor. I'm a broker.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So, and I've always been interested in design, be it architecture or interior design. And I think it all kind of goes with art because it's all about how you feel and how colors make you feel, how balance makes you feel, which you find in houses. And then as time has gone on, I've found myself drawn to certain rooms and houses when I think they have what I consider really nice art.
Okay.
So,
Fascinating.
I was just wondering, as a real estate, like, if you see a great kitchen and somebody cooking, then the next day you become a great cook.
No, I don't.
I mean, I'm just wondering, Maureen. I mean, because this is really pure talent. I mean, I still can't wrap my head around it because it's really, I'm looking at your paintings and they're just fabulous. And,
Well, thank you.
And so you submitted how many pieces into the?
4.
4 pieces,
Yes.
and then you were juried in.
And those were the only 4 I had.
Now, are you creating new art in anticipation of the show? How many pieces do you expect to bring with you?
Probably about 20.
Okay.
And I think that I want them to be 20 good ones.
Right.
So,
right.
about
So
20.
how many have you prepared now?
I have about 16.
Okay. And this includes like the one to my right, this
Yes,
beautiful
yeah,
one here.
yeah.
With the colors, you've got oranges and you've got blues and a little bit of black. Do you name these pieces?
Oh yeah, they all have
So,
a name. Yeah.
what is this?
This is A Beautiful Mind.
It certainly is, Maureen.
Now, what inspired this piece? You know, what did you see prior to this? What provoked this?
It's usually I'm looking at all the paints and the color. So blue, I knew I wanted something blue. And then I like this particular technique with a knife because I'm able to do it. So I like doing it. And then as I go, it's like, well, this is a little dark, I need to add some white. And this is a little dull, I need to add some yellow. So it's just kind of as it happens. It's really immediate. There's no planning for these.
Okay. So are you surprised with yourself?
Yes, very much so.
And I think, well,
I was surprised when I did the big one.
Okay.
Because a friend of mine whose husband is an artist, when she saw it, of course, I was nervous for her to see it because her husband is a fabulous artist. And I thought she was going to critique a little bit, and she didn't. She was really good, but she asked me if I scaled it out on grid before I did it, and I didn't. And I said, no, I didn't. And she was like very surprised about that. So then I thought, well, maybe I can continue
doing this.
this.
So there's no lessons. You've never had any lessons.
No.
And so you look at your paints and you just say, I throw it on the canvas.
Yeah, or if there's a specific
I'm gonna
place
try
I want
this.
to put one. You should. I will tell you.
It sounds very therapeutic too. I mean, I
It
can
does.
just, I mean.
It is very
Has it been
freeing.
an outlet for you?
Pardon me?
Has this been like an outlet for you?
Excellent outlet. And I think everybody should try it. And it's interesting. I thought it was a lot easier than it turned out to be because I had to learn technique as I did it.
Okay,
Like,
because
you have to
there
you have to
really
be
is a technique.
light-handed,
Yeah.
and you can't be heavy-handed or the paints just smear together and they don't look very
Right.
well. And little ways to use the tools. And
What did you find out about yourself through this whole process? There's got to be that journey in there, because this is just amazing.
Well,
will tell you, Maureen.
it's very freeing, I have to say. In the business that I'm in,
Yeah.
there's a lot of stress. You're dealing with the public, and you're under a lot of
clients,
pressure.
yes.
And this was just myself. Like, if I liked it, I liked it, and that's it. And
the only one criticizing you is yourself.
right.
So you're working with yourself and against yourself. So
Right.
it's this whole. I think it's fantastic.
Yeah.
It really
I
is.
just am having so much fun. Actually, as I get older, it's something I think I can just transition to all the time.
Wonderful. So you started out doing this for yourself.
Yes.
And how did you make that transition in a pretty short period of time from just doing this for you to saying, I want to participate in one of the longest running juried art shows in the country?
That was
That's a great question.
I'm curious how we got from point A to point
I'm
B.
still amazed from December and then to this prestigious show.
Well, that is not. It wasn't my idea, actually. We took some clients to dinner, and we were just talking, and they said, "What are you up to?" And I said, "Oh, I've started painting." And they asked me if I had any pictures, and I did. I had about 3 pictures, and I said, "Oh, here you go." And they both said to me, "Well, you should apply to the Mystic Art Show." And I was like, "Oh yeah, you know how you are when you create something. You always think everybody is being pleasant to you, and they just don't want to hurt your feelings. And they're going to go home and go, oh, did you see that?"
I have that when I say, "Do you like what I wear?"
Yeah,
I wore it,
yeah.
and they say, "Oh, that's great," and they turn around, "Oh my gosh,
I know, exactly. So they were like, no, you really should. And so I wasn't going to.
Right.
And my husband kept saying, "Did you apply yet?" No. "Did you apply it?" No. And then finally, I think it was pretty close to the deadline. I thought, I'll just apply. What do I have to lose?
Right.
So this woman, in 7 months, has gone from never creating art before to creating it and now participating in this prestigious art show. I haven't even sent out all my holiday cards for
my gosh!
in that time period.
And neither thank you cards either. I mean, I've just found that out tonight. That's a little side joke.
But I'm
We went there.
fortunate. I'm very fortunate because everybody's been very supportive of it. Like my husband.
That's what I want to
has been
hear.
Very
I mean,
supportive.
your husband, your family.
Yeah, he set up like a whole studio for me in the basement, and which was lovely. I mean, it's so easy to work now because I'm not just. The big one I did, it was on the floor while I was painting that one, so it's kind of awkward.
Well,
to do
you know
that.
what? Have you actually been to one of these art shows in Mystic?
Not in Mystic, I haven't. I was at one in Old Saybrook about 10 years ago.
Okay.
And I just thought it was fun. I mean,
Yeah.
and it was interesting.
So we're going to set you up a little bit because, I mean, I don't know exactly what the numbers are, but there's hundreds of thousands of people that will come through the streets of
That's
Mystic.
exciting.
And it's very, very exciting. So you're going to be anticipating a very, very large crowd. But I think the other side of it, Maureen, not you haven't been there and showed there, but you're going to get to talk to a lot of great people.
That's what I'm interested in.
And meet a lot of great neighbors. You're going to have neighbors on either side of you. I'm not sure where you're going to be. You can speak to Amanda afterwards, but it's a great place of community. And another thing is too, and hoping that you get your jump start at you're selling a couple of paintings. That's going to be great too. So have you made some using your artwork for some gifts and things like that too?
Yes.
And so, are you? What's the future, Maureen? If this,
I don't know. I mean, I'm expecting to have a really good time. I think it'll be a lot of fun, regardless of what happens with the art.
and you're going to submit something, right? For because it's a jury show,
Oh, okay.
so you'll have something.
So you
that-
get to pick a
Pick a
piece.
piece- pick a piece.
That the
Oh,
jury will
okay.
come by and review.
Oh,
Right, you won't
okay.
know who they are.
All right. Well, that's even better.
Yeah.
You know.
So have a particular piece that you're
Oh,
that you'd
okay.
like to show.
All right. I didn't know how that worked
Yeah.
yet, so.
You didn't read
okay.
your packet, did you, Maureen?
I did
She
not
may
get a
not have
packet.
received her packet yet.
Oh well, you
not
know
gotten
what?
my
We're going
packet
we're
yet.
going to take care of that for you as
Okay,
well,
well, that's
Maureen.
good.
But you're gonna have such a wonderful time here at the art festival.
So many people I know go.
Yes.
And they love it. And one of my friends, she's moved to Florida now, but she was from the area, and I've always admired what she's had in her house. And
Yeah.
it's all from the art show, year after year. the
But
different
how did you
pieces
pick
she's
this
bought.
medium? I mean, how did you just said acrylics is what I want to work with?
Well, I knew acrylics were quick.
Oh, I see.
Oil,
Right.
It's a long process.
Right, and that's a
with oil.
typical technique too.
Yeah,
and
and it-
watercolors are just.
I'm going to try watercolors because I have an idea in mind, and I think watercolor would work better if I used watercolor. So I'll try it with watercolor first.
Now, have you invested a lot into this artwork?
Well, I mean, supplies,
Yeah.
yes. Yeah. I mean, I would say probably in the last, 5 or 6 months, probably $1,100 or so in supplies,
Wow.
you know.
That's a commitment.
Well, it's a commitment when
Yeah.
and it comes out so great, like this. And then we have this.
I love that one, too. I don't have a name for
Grace.
that one
Oh,
yet,
you don't have
though.
a name for that
I
one?
just did that one, so I don't have a name for that yet. Do you have any suggestions?
Well, I'm looking at these, Amanda, and one of the things with your work, having looked at a lot of artwork over the last 15 years, and I love collecting artwork too, is that you have, I don't want to say two different sides of the brain, but you almost have two different sides of the brain.
They're different.
very
They're
different.
very, very different because you come out with this beautiful, I mean, this is just beautiful, and then this is very subdued. But the colors are just so opposite, and in a lot of artwork that I see, outside of the seascapes and landscapes, when they're pretty much all the same as far as coloring, except for the scenery, this is two different sides of the brain.
Yeah.
So that's very interesting how that all.
And when I look at what I've done, it is split right down the middle. I've done a lot with the bright colors and a lot with the more subdued.
Have you seen any correlation between your mood that day or what you had been doing when the inspiration struck?
Yeah, I'm usually happier when I'm doing the bright colors. I mean, I'm usually more relaxed, actually, when I'm doing the bright colors.
Interesting.
And there's a certain time of day. If I don't really like to paint after 4 o'clock or so. I just don't feel like I have it in me. But then one night,
Not after a glass of wine?
No, that's bad.
Oh, okay. So
That
okay.
did
I
not
think a
work
glass
for
of
me.
wine would improve our artistic talent here.
If we had one.
Maybe we would find one after a glass of wine.
Usually I'll do it before and then I'll have the glass of wine. But this was done at night, and most of the darker ones are done at night, where I just...
Isn't that something that
Fascinating.
really really interests me? Because I'm looking, and even in the ones that we had shown on the screen, it's the same thing. You've got this very bright side, and then I mean, it's not a depressing side. I don't see that.
No,
I
no.
just see a very laid back sort of. It's a different side, a side
Right.
view, and it's and typically with artists you don't have that.
the diversity of it.
Right,
One of my
so I
friends
think
said,
it's
"You
great."
haven't found your style yet." I
And so,
said,
do you feel that?
no, I feel like I don't think you need a style. I think
Right.
you just paint what you feel like
Fabulous.
painting.
Right.
The same with people who like what they like. They may like something that is not considered in the art world to be so wonderful, but if you like it, then I say, hang it up.
Right.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love
Right.
that. Whatever inspires you, whatever you like,
Right.
Yeah.
who's to tell you differently?
Right,
That's wonderful.
right.
So where do you see your artwork? I mean, where do? And I'm not sure how to pose this question, but you obviously, the more you do, the better you get.
Yeah.
So when you're lining up your artwork, do you see? Oh my gosh, I was really an amateur when I did that. Can you? Because we wouldn't be able to see it.
I don't think you'd be able to see it,
Okay, but you do.
but I see it, yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah. And-
how do you transit? How do you know you're getting better?
by what in my mind comes across the first time. I don't have to go, oh, that isn't what I wanted to do, and try to correct it. I have it in my mind, and then the palette does it, you know.
Wow.
So it's interesting, especially the
Wow.
lighter touch. The lighter touch has been very difficult for me to learn anyway, you know, where it's just skimming. Otherwise the colors blend, and you don't want them to blend. You just want them to, you know, because you're working wet on wet.
Yes.
So when you put a color over another color, you don't want to press too hard.
Right, right.
You have to skim it and hope that it skims. So
Now, you've picked up this new passion. You've tried something new, and you found out that you've been very successful at it, and it's something that you enjoy doing. Have you inspired anybody else, your friends or family, to try something new, to try something they've been thinking
Well,
about or have always wanted to?
I don't. If I have, they haven't told me.
Well, they're afraid to because they don't know what it's going to come out like. You know, that's what
The bar
you
was set
have,
very
Maureen,
high.
but you know.
Well, you know, the woman's house that I saw that picture that I wanted to, that I wanted, she is an artist, and she has inspired me quite a bit, and she doesn't know that. I think I may have just told her that the last day or two.
So she actually paid it forward.
Yes, she did, because she is, her work is very different. She has all different styles, if you will, and I can see she just loves doing it. And the way and she's an older woman. When I say older, I mean she's my age. She's not, you know, younger. And she has this beautiful studio, and I just thought, you know, what a great life.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
thought, what
You
a
can see
great
it.
life. Yeah.
You can see it. So I have a question. How long did this take to do? How long does it take to do these images?
Well, I almost am embarrassed to tell you.
Okay, is this another surprise? Because
This one took about 15 minutes.
sure, I can do that. Let's just
And that one about a half an hour.
so
Wow.
wow,
I can't even
Couldn't
get dressed
cut
that
red
quickly in the morning.
I had a hard time cutting up red peppers in that time. Okay, Maureen, we've got. This has been interesting.
Oh, well, good. I'm glad.
Because, you know, when you think of artwork, okay, let me just preface this a little bit. You have a real talent, a God's gift talent. You have to, because there's just no way that Amanda and I, who know artwork, I mean, obviously, if you've been doing, you know, chairing for 3 years and looking at, you know, we look at a lot of pieces that come through, and I've done this 15 years. This is a real God's gift talent, and I do hope that you continue. But 15 minutes
Yeah.
on this, and it came out like that.
Yep. Now, it took me about 6 that came out terrible
Oh, I see. Okay.
'Cause
6 on the same palette or 6 before this?
6 before this.
Okay.
It's different paintings
I see.
that just weren't I wanted them to be this, but they weren't.
I see.
Because I didn't have the touchdown.
Thank God there
So-
was some mess ups. Because I'm thinking, thank God that
Made me
you
feel
messed
slightly
up
better.
6 paintings, Maureen, before you got to this. I'm thinking this, I mean, I'm just
Yeah.
thinking you're so perfect, and
Oh,
I'm so
no,
glad
no.
that you're not.
I'm not.
But okay, so I get it now. There were
Yeah.
6 prior to this because you had a vision, and it finally came out
Right.
like this.
Right.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah.
Okay, did you do those 6 in 15 minutes?
Pretty much.
Okay, so
That's why I like acrylic. It's fast.
I see.
That's why oil. I like to do things. I like immediate gratification.
Don't we all?
Yeah.
So was there the same with this painting here?
No, that one actually that was a first try. And
Okay.
that
It
took her
came
a
out
half
like
an
that.
hour.
Yeah,
And it
no,
took you
yeah.
a half an hour to
Yeah,
do.
yeah.
I tell you what, I got to do these shows more often with guests like this because this is just it's
inspiring.
It's very, very
It's
inspiring.
inspiring.
What is next for Maureen O'Grady? Because this is just wonderful.
Well, as far as art goes,
Yes.
I'm going to set up a website
Okay.
and like a store, which I haven't done.
Okay.
So I'm just starting that. As a matter of fact, what I wanted to name my company, so to speak, was taken. So it took me a long time to find something that wasn't taken.
So what are you naming it?
MaureenO'Grady.art. How simple is that, right?
I'm so glad it was simple because I thought it was only going to take you 2 seconds to come up with this.
No, I
fabulous
did want
name.
it to be Mog art.
Okay,
Because it was
I see.
short and sweet, but Mog was taken. Who would have thunk? Mog.
I know,
You know,
I
but
know.
That was taken.
Any thoughts for new artists?
Yes, I do have some thoughts for new artists as far as getting their work out there.
Absolutely.
In this day and age, there's so many ways to do it that weren't available back, like when my mother was doing it. You know, go make yourself a website, tell the story of each picture, what it means to you, and why you painted it.
Within 15 minutes.
You know, and build a website, go and have a store on Etsy or go.
Okay, yeah.
And so that eventually you can just do that full time and that can be your love. And do these shows too. I think this
Yeah.
is going to be so much fun.
Yeah. Well, Maureen, I think you've inspired myself and Amanda
Absolutely.
here, and we're just so lucky to have you.
Thank you.
On today's Mystic Matters, and also the Mystic Outdoor Art Festival. Again, can you tell us when that is again?
Yes, we've got August 10th and 11th, the Mystic Outdoor Art Festival in downtown Mystic. Again, we are still looking for volunteers. If anyone would like to learn more, you can visit themysticchamber.org.
Okay. And Maureen, you've been such an inspiration on today's show. We want to tell all the artists out there that if you have this inspiration and next year you'd like to send in your artwork and get juried in, because it really is one of the most prestigious, the best outdoor art festival, and I think in Connecticut, and certainly in southeastern Connecticut. Want to make sure that everybody knows that our stores and restaurants are open. The whole town of Mystic is going to be greeting you, and we want you to make sure that you take advantage of that as well, because all the stores and the restaurant owners really want you to come visit them as well. Maureen, you have to come back. I mean,
I would love to.
Gosh, in a year's time, I want to see what you've done in a full year.
Okay.
I mean, if this is what you've done in 7 months, you know what? I'm going to go out to Michael's and get one of those paint by art, and I'm going to challenge Maureen to the 5 minutes, okay, that I'm going to come up with
okay.
some
And
artwork.
Suzette will demonstrate it at the show for
I
us.
can demonstrate
Come down and say hello.
1 to 100, and we'll see what happens. Amanda, Arling, you know I have a soft spot for you, so I'm so happy that you were able to co-host with me.
Thank you for having
We
me.
always love Kristin as well, and she does produce the show as well as the Franks. And Maureen, thank you again. We are the Greater Mystic Chamber of Commerce. We're very, very busy. Please visit us on our website. We've got a lot of stuff going on for the rest of the summer, even in going into the fall. You'll see it right there. So give us a call, contact us at our information right below, and we'll see you at the Art Festival. We'll be down there. Get your t-shirts and come join us. We are the Greater Mystic Chamber of Commerce. Mystic matters and you matter. Good evening.